Here's a question. I've owned my house 10 years now and at 4.75 interest rate on 30 years. Should I refinance it if I owe $70,000?
Well, one more time. Tell me that one more time.
All right, I owe $70,000 on my house. I've
Mhm.
owned it for 10 years and my rate is 4.75 and I have a 30-year mortgage. Should I refi?
I don't. I would say probably no on that. I think the because it's such a small loan,
Mhm.
70,000. Even though you could get down a good bit, you could get down to you got 20 years left. You could even go down to a 10-year loan. But even on a 10-year loan, if you got great credit, you probably be a rate in the low twos. And that's probably still only going to lower your payment at $40 a month or $50 a month because the loan size is so small. If you were talking about $140,000 loan or
Mhm.
$240,000, I'd be like, yes, of gosh, yes. 4.875 is terrible. But when you're this far into it, I would say probably better off to try and maybe even pay a little extra towards principal. You can get that paid off faster. You're at a point in the loan, loans are weighted so that you pay more interest in the earlier months of the loan and less interest and more principal as it goes along. So if you're 120 payments into it, you're getting close to that point where you're paying more principal than interest. If your goal is to get the payment as low as possible, maybe you're on a fixed income or something like that, I would consider it. But short of that, I don't think that would make sense to refi.
Can you talk a little about how closing costs accumulated with an existing escrow? I'm shopping in. Okay. Woo. Whoa, man. Hey.
Pow, MJ, let's do a little reset there.
All right. Hey, good morning, beer guy. Shopping now for a refi. Can you talk a little about how closing costs accumulated with an existing escrow? I don't know what that means.
Well, I think what they mean is like, for example, if it's about the time of year you're refinancing.
I
So like
see.
right now, if
Right.
you're refinancing,
Mhm.
and let's say we closed your loan in September, you're going to skip your October payment. Your first payment's going to be November. So in November, that's when taxes are due. So at closing, we would have to collect like 13 months worth of taxes. And that can add to your closing costs. You can also bring those to closing, or you can include them in your own loan. But the other thing to know is that after you refinance, your existing lender is going to send you a check back for whatever's in your escrow account. Hit me up offline, beer guy, and I can get a little further into that and put together some numbers for you. You know what time it is, MJ?
Ooh, what time is it?
It's time for the speed round.
Yay! All right, I'm going to ask you
That's
some questions, and I'm going to ask them quick.
That's where
You better answer them quick.
Well, let me explain it real quick.
Oh, I think I just did.
Oh, well, we try and get to some of the questions that I haven't gotten to yet during the show. And if I do miss your question, please go to homeloansradio.com and copy paste it in there, and I will get you an answer. Those all come to my email. Go ahead.
Right, you
MJ.
ready?
Yes.
My son's student loans are on my credit report. Will that keep me from refinancing?
It could. It just depends. What happens when those student loans are on there? We have to count that debt towards your debt ratio, even though they may be paying it. If we can show for sure, like proof that they've paid it for a long time, we might have a loophole there. But if you're making enough income, then it's not going to affect you. It's just it's like having another credit card on there. So whatever those payments are affects your debt ratio, and yeah, it could potentially affect it.
Could you give me a quote on a refi without a hard credit pull?
I can. Yeah, we can do a soft credit pull. It's not going to, I mean, it's not 100% quote. I can't guarantee it, but I can get us a pretty close quote. If I go back later and pull the actual credit report and the scores are different, well, then you have to be flexible enough to realize, that might change, because sometimes the soft pull scores are not quite as accurate as the hard pull scores. But yeah, I can do that. I do it all the time.
What is the youngest age you can qualify for a mortgage?
Well, technically, I mean, you can sign the legal contract and buy a home and do a mortgage at age 18. I think that's kind of tough to do by yourself because you probably won't have enough credit history built up or enough job history, but you could be a co-signer on a loan as early as 18. And so 18 is the answer.
Are jumbo loans back? And tell me about them.
Jumbo loans are definitely back. We had a big lull when COVID started back in March of 2020. A lot of the big jumbo lenders just put the brakes on and then weren't doing loans, because jumbo loans aren't government loans. They're not like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA. They are done by each individual bank and their investors and their hedge funds and however they fund the loans. And so they were all wary, what the heck's going to happen in the market? And these are the biggest loans. They're between 548,000 and 4 million. And so they were on a break, but yeah, we're back now. We've got probably at least 6 different lenders that are doing jumbo loans. The rates are pretty good. They're not too far off of where the conventional rates if you're well qualified.
Our dinner guests cry that we are evil when they notice their place at the meal. But it's no big deal why. We're just one big happy tribe, and we get really fed up with people. What are we?
Oh, boy. Riddle time.
I think I know.
Yeah, Fritz knows.
Oh, well, geez. I need to hear it again. Go ahead.
Our dinner guests cry that we are evil when they notice their place in the meal. But it's no big deal. We're just one big happy tribe, and we get really fed up with people. Who are we?
We get really fed up with people.
Mm-hmm. Tribe, get really fed up with people.
Mm-hmm.
Their dinner guests are unhappy when they figure out their place in the meal.
Oh.
Fritz.
Cannibals.
Yes.
That's why I have this
Cannibals.
This is the worst dinner.
Exactly.
A couple weeks ago, we had the worst juice, kidney juice. And now we have the worst
That is
dinner.
the worst juice.
Great job, Fritz, getting that. That one wasn't clicking for me. Good job.
Hey, thank you. Wait, hold on. Let me do that. That's me.
Well, folks, you've done it. That's right. You've successfly whiled away another 90 minutes of your weekend morning listening to us prattle on about mortgages and home loans and capitalism and bananas. How to buy, how to sell. You want to find out more information about refinancing, doing a purchase, get pre-approved, go to homeloansradio.com or thatmortgageguydon.com. Follow me on Instagram at thatmortgageguy.com. Well, I think we're out of here. Play us out of here, Fritz.
You've been listening to Home Loans Radio with That Mortgage Guy, Don. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. on Real Radio 104.1 and check us out online at homeloansradio.com.